In other words, in order to be a man, you need to have a tablespoon of horseradish sauce, right?
You need to have a tablespoon of horseradish.
Yeah, I didn't say it that way. Basically, it was
Gross.
more like, I can do this. Can you do it? And so,
I am hoping that we are heard at a minimum right now. Let me know, those of you in chat, if you can hear us talking. Yes, no, maybe so, not, or possibly. Yay! Thank you, Biggie.
If you're in the chat, tell me that you love me more than anything in the whole world.
Yes,
um,
yes. Tell Taylor that you love her more than anything else in the world.
so he did it. He had his tablespoon of horseradish sauce. Oh no, I had mine. I showed him. Hey, look,
He
I'll eat
ate a
this.
tablespoon of horseradish?
Well, just check this out. So, and tablespoon, teaspoon. It was a
Either
teaspoon.
way,
It was a
that's
teaspoon.
horrible.
So I showed him like, look, I'll eat this, and I ate a teaspoon, or a regular spoon that you eat with. I ate a teaspoon of horseradish sauce, and he's like, oh, I can do that too. So I went into the kitchen and I got him a teaspoon of horseradish sauce, right? And
Oh my
he ate
God.
it.
Uh huh.
He did not know that I took mine out of the mild and his out of the hot
Oh, Trixie Hobbitses. Trixie.
Wow.
until afterwards. Then I couldn't help but to laugh really hard, and he figured it out. Because I mean, he went to the kitchen for some milk, and like he was.
Well, because horseradish, even a mild one, is pretty like in your face,
Yeah.
whack you right in the back of the like that'll clear your
Yeah.
sinuses really
Nah,
quick.
mild.
That is, yeah, that's a lot. Okay.
I was a little kid, and the horseradish was on the table as a condiment, and so I was like heaping it on, and the parents were like, "Oh, you might not want to do that." And I was like,
Yeah.
"I've got that. This is great. I love horseradish." They're like, "Have you had it before?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." And I'm like, "I never had it in
No,
my
of
life."
course not.
I was like 5, right? And then it was
Gotta
like the
play it off
weeping
for
and
the
crying.
adults.
I put it on waffles, and so I was like weeping because I couldn't eat my waffle. It was like I was like, they're like, "Don't you want to put syrup on?" I'm like, "No, I love horseradish. I really do. I have it
yeah,
every day of my life." Like total
I would
fantasy.
like to know, wait, please tell me though, why was there horseradish on the table at the same time as
Oh, at Grandma
It's just
Fuller's
a
house,
general
there's
condiment.
always a jar of horseradish on the table and vinegar,
Okay.
like the end.
Okay.
Like it's
I'm
just
here
the
for that.
I'm
staples.
And that makes sense. You put it on your hamburger. You put it on. Yeah,
right.
I
Baked
can see that.
potatoes.
Yeah.
All right, friends. You know what? We're gonna go over and we're gonna do it live, and we're gonna do all that great stuff, friends. So let's kind of change over and see what happens. For those of you who have earphones on and you are currently watching the stream, you might want to pull them off for half a second because here comes the dragon.
Oh, I couldn't hear a thing.
Oh, we can't hear it this time.
No, there was no hearing. I turned it down too low. Oh.
But
Well, on the Zoom call, sometimes we can, sometimes we can't.
Oh, okay. I don't know how loud it was. Sounded great. Okay, good.
Nice.
I still got the volume right. Good to know. We're doing it. We're making it. Hi, everybody. Hi. It's Tuesday night. It's Greyhawk night, and we are keeping Greyhawk alive with a brand new show for you all. As you can see, Ashlyn is not with us, nor is Manda. Manda has a bunch of stuff that she's got to get done, so she couldn't join us tonight. Ashlyn is running a little bit late, so when she gets in here, we'll do it live, and you'll heckle me, as Rory says, while I make sure that everybody gets in the right camera window and everything along those lines. But for now, we're looking good, and I like that. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening as we start a brand new adventure. We are calling it Greyhawk, the Next Generation. Why? Because I was watching Star Trek when I thought of the name. But doing it live, exactly, doing it live. But first and foremost, before we get started, I want to go around and introduce the Next Generation's cast. Who was all here? Some familiar faces to Tuesday night, some new faces to Tuesday night, and when Ashlyn gets in here, she'll join in too, and it'll be great. It'll be awesome, and I'm not nervous at all. Anyway, so going around, you know what? We'll start with John. John, tell us, who are you? Who were you playing?
ooh.
And where can we find you?
Hey, I'm Demon Gun. I'm all over the place in Tailspire circles. I stream sometimes, not very often lately, just because family and life. So yeah, I have like a YouTube channel, VTT Journey. I have a Patreon and all that kind of stuff. I'm playing Arikyo. Oh wait, no, I'm
No,
not.
wrong game.
I'm playing Zephyrian the Wanderer. Zephyrian the Wanderer. He's kind of an unassuming human male. He's like a little over 5 feet tall, brownish, kind of messy hair. He looks young, but at the same time, he appears wise beyond his years. He's very his hands are calloused, right? He's strong muscles, and just from walking and wandering, and he just has kind of like a tumbleweed in the wind air about him. But he's also a wizard, and so I'm playing this character who's kind of a trying to think how to put trying to think how to put him. He follows civilization, right? He's kind of something of a historian. He worships Arathir, who's like the co-god to Palor of light. And so in civilization, there are the rises of technology and innovation, and then there's also the fall of civilization, which is just as natural as you reach dystopia. And he kind of follows the history of all these different places that he travels while being a pawn of the gods. That's Zephyrian.
Outstanding. Taylor, where can we find you? Who are you? I mean, aside from being dead on Sunday, that's the name of a great band too. Dead on a Sunday.
Dead on Sunday.
Dead on a Sunday. But where can we find you, and what are you doing, and who are you playing?
Hello, everybody. I'm Taylor. You can find me on Instagram at the Barbarian Barbie. You can find me on Sunday nights, obviously on Fall of Red Dawn as
Miss Jubilee. So hopefully this Sunday everything is fine with that.
But don't shake your head, Kurt. She's okay. She's fine. Everything's fine. But today I am playing something very outside of my wheelhouse. I'm very excited. For those of you that do follow me on Instagram, you have probably seen my half sleeve that I have right here. I am playing the character that inspired my half sleeve tattoo. Her name is Fortuna. She is a drow of sorts. She has a big chunky white braid and these really piercing blue eyes, and she carries around her little familiar Ray Ray, who's a raven, on her shoulder all the time. You can probably catch her with a deck of cards in her hand. Unsurprising, because clowns, tricksters, all that kind of stuff, that's my jam, clearly. So Fortuna she's very special to me. She's much quieter than Jubilee is. She's much more reserved. She's very unsure of herself. And she's just learning who she is, along with all of her friends that I'm sure we will interweave ourselves with over the course of this stream tonight.
Lots of friends.
We shall see how she does.
Okay. Let's see here. I'm trying to fix something. They're saying that they're hearing something. They're hearing you guys as a double talk, and I'm trying to figure out where the double talk is at. Are you guys hearing double speak? Double talk? Is everybody coming through weirdly? Yes, no, maybe so. Just ever so slightly robot-y. No echo here. You sound great. I sound great. You sound great. Totally great. Everybody's saying we're great. It's great. I'm great. You're great. We're all great. I will have to... let's see here. I don't know. Maybe. It was great. We're all great. We're all great here. Never heard that. Okay, cool. Let's go. All right, then. Rory, who are you playing? And when you're not busy murdering people on Sundays, who are you playing with us tonight?
Oh, well, I am playing... Let's see if I can get this pronunciation right. Oriel Shereneth. Oriel Shereneth. I am a how do you say? I still trouble over this word. What kind of elf am I?
Eladrin.
Eladrin.
Yeah.
I never say that word. So I'm an Eladrin elf. Oriel Shereneth is my name. And what to say? I don't really know. He has multiple views on life, and his hair is a good indicator of which view he currently sits in. And you can, I don't know.
What does he look like right now? What is he
right
like?
now? right now he is, he's an elf, so he's something over 6 foot tall. I haven't, I guess, figured that out yet. But he's tall, slender, and he has currently green hair, like what you see on the screen there. And it's in shades of green, right? So a little bit of the darker in the roots and a little bit lighter. Other than that, it's a bit of a mohawk, kind of bald outside of that. And he does wear armor. So he does carry armor and a couple scimitars on his sides.
Okay.
Yeah.
Outstanding. We will 100% get into Ashlyn's character description and everything along those lines when she is able to join us. And she will here before too much longer. But before we get started, hi, I am Kurt. I am your GM. I am the one who's going to be taking over Tuesdays for the foreseeable, and we'll get into all that much later. But for that being said, we are sticking with our true Greyhawk theme and going in Greyhawk. And I had a good conversation with the wonderful Jay. I'm like, I don't know where to take it in Greyhawk, right? But knowing me, I like things a little weird. I like things a little kooky. And he went Blackmore, and I looked at Blackmore and went, yep. So, for those of you joining us, our tale is going to be taking place in Blackmore, the weird world of Blackmore, where it's got a little bit of a touch of just about everything, and some things that you haven't normally seen in Greyhawk. But it's in Blackmore. It's great. So this is set up currently as a mini campaign, and we will see if it becomes a full-on campaign. Who knows? And who knows, right? No, maybe nobody dies. Maybe everybody dies. It's just the way the dice go. But for that, there are going to be some slight changes to how things work, friends. For those of you who are our lovely bits givers, bits will work very similarly as they have before. There is a cap, though, on the bits when it comes to some of the players and what they can do with it. The players are aware of how they work, but your plus ones are still going to be plus ones. Your advantages are still going to be advantages. However, the full heals and things like that might be slightly changed as the story evolves and goes, as we kind of feel it out. We are playing now watch the room disintegrate. We are playing a modified version of 5e. And there goes all our viewers gone. No. We are playing a modified version of 5e that has some fairly extensive house rules that come into play. We are not going to take the time necessarily to go over them all. You'll kind of pick them up as we go, though there has been discussion of let's go over Kurt's house rules on an LMA later. So that is the case. However, enough of my jibber jabbing. I'm well aware. We will take a slight pause as I fix everything or whatnot when Ashlyn pops in, but these guys are ready. You've been waiting for a story. They've been waiting for a story. So let's kind of get into this. Let's see what's happening. In a small village you won't find on any map, known as Blackrock. It is a mining town in the province of Slate. I hope I'm saying that right. It is a mining town known for its vast obsidian mines, where dwarves have kind of laid out and built this town, but not to the full extent of a dwarven hold. Though nobody is quite sure why, as the dwarves here, they very much have the tools, the knowledge, and the capabilities of making a hold. Instead, these particular dwarves have, for whatever reason, built up a town. Now, it's not vast, it's not massive, but it is well-traveled, and it is very much a nice stop-off point, a layover point, if you will. Our group of intrepid heroes are just that. They're all the town's heroes in some way, shape, or form, whether it be they've fended off a half-dead frost giant, or they've maybe slain a goblin pack or two. They have a little bit of local renown, and are, for the most part, well-liked and well-received. Though Zephyrian's partner, we shall say, sometimes is left many questionable. They don't talk much, but, they're helpful nonetheless. It is wintertime, And the town, while in Blackmore and it has its own customs and courtesies, is preparing for the Winter Festival. Winterfest is upon us. It is a time of, for the most part, great cheer, welcoming, warm home and hearth, and giving to one another. The holiday itself is celebrated in many different ways by many different people. And here in Blackrock, they have, well, their own version of celebrating. We find ourselves at the Pickaxe, the local tavern, where the majority of the town is meeting after the last shift has been let off. And celebrations are going up. Wreaths are going up. Stone carvings, which is the customary gift exchanged throughout the village of Blackrock, of various shapes and sizes. Warm hearth merriment is had by all, and for the most part, the town's been relatively quiet. We find our heroes here, inside the Pickaxe. What are our heroes doing?
So the Pickaxe is a tavern, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is the tavern.
The tavern. Is it the only tavern here?
It is not the only tavern, but any dwarf worth his weight in gold would never get caught at any other place, as it's ran by none other than Jarl Stonefoot, who is a seasoned dwarf who is quite fond of anyone willing to spend their hard-earned coin in his establishment.
And you said it's called the Axe?
It's called the Pickaxe.
Pickaxe.
The Pickaxe.
The kick-ass.
And his name again?
Jarl
Jarl
Stonefoot.
Jarl Stonefoot.
You smell the warmth of potatoes being cooked and warm beer, chips, and merriment. It's been a long day. You all have been without work for quite some time, but your notoriety keeps your bellies full, so to speak. And
Do you want to go, or do you want? Who wants to go first?
You go first.
Those things?
Yeah, you go first. You go first. Yeah, go first.
So Zephyrian will he'll come back to the table where Ariel is sitting, and he'll have a mug of beer in each hand and kind of like cradling a plate between them, and he'll set down the big kind of a flat wooden plate of fries and a couple of beers, and say, "Merry holidays! This is the last of my gold. Enjoy it." And he pulls out a little notebook. He says, "All right, pay for your ale. Tell me again about this dwarven boss you killed. I'll make sure I get it right."
Make sure you get it right.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Dwarven boss. There was no dwarven boss that was.
No, I'm asking Ariel
Oh,
about.
my bad.
Yeah, I'm asking Ariel to tell me his story, basically poking him to come up with something.
You referring to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Zephyrian sits down, sets
Yep,
beers
I
in
wanted
front of
to
him, and is
make
like, "Tell me
sense.
the story." Yeah.
Oriel.
Oriel.
Like, yeah, Oriel.
I'm gonna write it phonetically.
Rory would
Oh,
pick a name that is he can't even get in his head.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It's Oriel. It's like O-R and then eel, like the animal. Oriel. So that's why I was thrown off.
Okay.
Eel.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yep, okay.
Oriel.
Okay, so you're talking to me. I wasn't sure who
Yes.
you're talking to. Okay, and what are you asking about? A dwarven boss that I beat?
Yeah, I'm just sitting down and be like, "Okay, tell me about this random anecdote about this dwarven boss you were killing."
They come and they go at all different shapes and sizes. Stroke my hand through my green hair, but it's all about the celebration, I try to not kill them if I don't have to, but it's just, and with him, thankfully, I did not have to. It's pretty surprising, but many of them, yes, many dwarves, they are fantastic drinkers. But I usually underestimate how much I can also drink. So I just took advantage of that opportunity, and instead of getting in a fist fight that I very might have lost, I challenged him to a drinking contest.
You challenged a dwarf to a drinking contest.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it?
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
And I'll write the little story in my book. Little book.
Fortuna, where are you at this particular point in time?
If we're all in the same place, I'm definitely sitting towards the very edge of the bar with a cup of piping hot tea with a lemon wedge in it, flipping my tarot cards.
Oi, Fortuna! You dare to tell me my portents for the season, love?
Oh, I need to roll my portent dice, don't I? Do we
Yes,
want to do
you
that
do.
now? All right. Let's see. Starting off strong, y'all.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's hope we get into some combat so I can change people's rolls to a 5 and a 7.
Jarl walks over. Do you need a refill on that tea?
Yeah, I'll take a refill. Thank you so much.
He grabs your cup and kind of walks over, and you see him start to look at it, start to mess with the tea or whatnot. He comes back over after a few minutes, sets it down in front of you, and he goes, "Tell me, what do the cards say? Are we in for a bit of fortune this evening?"
If you want me to read them for you, I absolutely can.
Let the fates do what they do. But what do you say?
I say it's going to be a great night for all of us. This is the first time in quite some time I've been in such high spirits, so I'm just going to take it for what it's worth.
There you go. I know work's been slow as of late, but, I have a good feeling something's going to fall in your laps very soon. That's not me trying to predict nothing. I can't quite do that. No, that's not going to happen. But,
The
I'm just
cards
saying.
haven't said anything about why. Did you hear something?
No, I just, as you
Okay.
are saying, feeling lucky.
Well, that's the thing. I feel lucky, but my concern is if you've heard something, then maybe I should look further into it because I didn't hear anything lately, and the cards haven't really been giving me much information about things like that. But if you feel like something's gonna fall into my lap, are we talking about a good job or are we talking about a bad job? Because I'm not really 100% sure.
His massive dwarven hands reach out and grab your hand from it. Darling, please calm down. I was just making light of the evening. The tavern is full. Folks are merry. Coin is being spent. It's a good night. That's
I'll take it for what it's worth then.
Right. Hopefully it's worth about 500 gold. The overhead's killer on this place. And he ushers back down the bar or whatnot. And you see him he has that momentary look, right? Of just oh, that girl ain't right, but she's damn cute if she means well. All right. So, and he strolls on over from behind the bar, walking around, looking at everyone. Right, so how are you gentlemen doing this evening? Is there anything that I may fetch for you?
Yeah, that's fantastic. So we have a thing where we wait for the other to talk.
Right, okay, so I know going forward, I'll just go, okay, so Zephyrian, how are you doing this evening? Is there anything that you need? And then in turn, I'll just address Oriel.
Stonefoot, I'm doing great. Enjoying myself here as always. If anything, my pockets are a little light. So, if you got any work or anything, please let me know.
I don't necessarily have work, but I'm fairly sure that those gentlemen over there, after a long, hard shift, wouldn't mind being relieved of their coin for some games of chance, if you catch my meaning.
I see. You good at Oriel? Are you good at games of chance?
Well, it depends on what kind of game of chance, but there is a good chance that I am. Haha.
Does he always look off in random directions like that when he's talking?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Sometimes if I look off this way, then you wonder what I'm doing. Yes, so sometimes in the game of chance, it is very beneficial to look off in different directions. They get curious and wondering what I'm doing, and then before they know it, I've won. And see, just like I've already done to you already. What are these games of chances that I could play?
Right. Well, there's games of dice. There's games of card. And you know, you're not
Yes.
quite right. But I like
am
that
very
about you.
right. I am very right that I like celebration. I am so excited for this winter celebration that we're about to have.
Right?
And
Have you
and
made? Have you
games
made?
of yeah.
Have you decided who you're gifting to this year?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know?
Well, yeah, actually, I would. That's why I asked the question.
I don't know that I want to tell right now, though.
All
Do we
right.
have to tell? I am kind of new to the area. Are we supposed to tell who we're giving it to? Is it like a secret thing?
Right. It's kind of like how do I put it? No, it's not really a secret, but it can be a secret if you like. I'm just trying to make polite conversation with a
I
patron of
see.
my tavern. Yes.
I gotcha. Well, if we may keep it a little bit quiet.
Yeah, alright, said.
Yep. So there is someone that I have in mind for the gift.
Right.
Yep. Uh-huh. I do believe she is also new to the area. And that would be, I don't know if you probably know her. Her and I come in kind of often into this place.
Do you feel
Mhm.
like you're in the middle of a Feywild council drama of some kind, Stonefoot? Or is it just me?
Right, so what it feels like somebody is very far from home and can't quite get back, and I'm understanding why they left him at the Grand Canyon.
Uh, ooh, ooh, ooh. Piss. What is who is it? Savea? Is that, what's her name? Man, total mind blank right now. Ashlyn's character?
Chaldea?
No, that's Kalida.
Kalida?
Kalita?
Yeah.
Kalita.
Speaking of Ashlyn, now that this awkwardness is over, we can 100% bring her in. So now you get to heckle me while I fix everything when she jumps in.
That would be who I'm giving the gift to, but don't say anything, okay?
Right,
It looks like
okay,
she's
don't-
like she's walking into the tavern right now. Don't mention it.
Let's get her in here. Hi, friends. Hi, folks. She's joining, and here she is. And everybody's all messed up. All right, friends.
Oh, looks so good.
There she is. There she is. We're gonna fix it on the fly. We're gonna fix it on the
Hello,
fly.
hello.
Hello, friends. Hello. We're gonna fix it all. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna.
This makes me so excited that I get to play in a game with two of my DMs that I've never had a chance to play with. I've only played like 4.
You've
This
only
is so
played
fun.
Nothing.
What? What is happening right now? I don't know. I'm just here, friends. Don't mind me. Don't pay any attention to the man behind the curtain. He is currently just trying to fix.
Well, I have to because the conversation was with the man behind the curtain. And then he just he's not only stone foot, but he just stone walled me.
That was not my intent, sir. That was not my intent. I gotta fix the things.
I see Stonefoot that you're a bit busy, but just remember, keep that a little secret between us that who I'm giving this gift to.
It shall be 100% secret.
By the way, Kalita, come on over. I'm not sure if you have met Zephyrin.
Zephyrin?
Zephyrian.
I don't think I've had the pleasure.
He is an interesting little guy. Little? How tall are you?
So what you see, Kalita, is Zephyrian. He's probably like a little over 5 feet tall. He's a human, very weathered, calloused hands. He's pretty strong, but like kind of unruly, unkempt hair, piercing eyes. But he has like a shield on his back, and I mean he's obviously an adventurer. And you walk up, and he looks at you. What does he see?
As Kalita walks in, she is about 5'8", with deep red hair, dressed in these blackened leathers that kind of hold on to her torso before falling back beside her hips. They sort of flow behind her. They're definitely hardened leather. It's a mixture of blacks and dark reds and bits of oranges and yellows intermixed. And she's carrying a staff that looks, if you've ever seen a tree that's been hollowed out by fire, where it creates that like chimney effect almost. It's like a really skinny version of that. This gnarled blackened wood staff. She around her neck also has a very large uh, shift, crystal that's shifting between reds and yellows and oranges, kind of flickering almost like a little campfire. As she
What?
is relatively lithe with skin that looks almost a little ashen, not quite gray, but not fully like what a normal human would have. Otherwise, she appears human with piercing yellow eyes.
Sweet. I'm gonna get it as fast as I can.
Well met. I'm Zephyrian. Pull up a chair.
It
How do
is
you
a
how do you know O'Reilly?
ah, it is a pleasure to meet you. Auril and I are quite often drinking buddies. It's good to have a little bit of company from time to time. How have you met Auril?
Oh, we met on the road. We were walking the same direction. We both wound up here.
Oh, you make the story so tame and so mild. Come on, tell the truth. Live it
Tell
up
the
a
truth.
little. Enjoy it.
Okay.
It's a celebration of our friendship. Come on now.
So
Oh, a celebration.
You know me. Everything's a celebration.
But then is anything doesn't that make the other things seem a bit
Okay. Not everything's a
special?
celebration, but a lot of things are celebrations. Friendship
Oh,
is a celebration.
friendship is a celebration.
Right. Some say
Oh.
friendship is magic, but we're not gonna get into that one. At that point, Jarl walks back over to the bar, and the festivities begin to play. Because she's a little late to the group, and that's perfectly okay. Ashlyn, can you give us a kind of a rundown of who Khalida is?
Like in terms of stats, sort of.
Like, who is she? What is she? Kind of thing. Everybody kind of had a chance to explain who their character was at the beginning.
Amazing. So like I was saying, Kalita is a relatively human looking, but beneath that surface, she is a like are we doing full like race? I missed everybody else's.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Those particular things, the things or whatnot, you
Yeah,
can kind of keep
the
that one to
thing.
yourself. Yeah, you get the
Keep it secret, keep it safe.
Yeah,
Keep
right.
it safe.
Yeah, there you go.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, hint, hint.
Yep.
Uh, she definitely is a bit odd looking in that, like, if you look a little long at her eyes, they start to have that same sort of shifting. She definitely is dressed in druidic leathers, though. She is pulls a lot from these sort of fiery imagery, as she is known as a circle of wildfire druid. She predominantly tends to, stay away from wooden buildings sometimes, especially libraries. Not just because she herself is not the smartest, but she's definitely singed some papers before and isn't always necessarily welcome in those sorts of spaces.
I mean,
It doesn't mean she's not trying to find things in libraries, but she's starting to find people who will find that for her so that she doesn't get in trouble. She tends to be very gregarious. She's very friendly, but also feels her feelings. And sometimes those feelings come to the surface, and being a bit fiery sometimes gets a little literal.
that's very fair. Well, As you had missed the initial introduction, where you find yourself in the village of Blackrock, which is an obsidian mining town ran by dwarves predominantly, it is Winterfest, and everyone is preparing for the evening's festivity at the Pickaxe. So the tavern is a little bit more packed as the last shift has come off, and the mines are shutting down for the evening, and everybody is preparing to enjoy the festivities. Why, they even say a bard all the way from Greyhawk itself is here to regale you with tales from beyond the borders of Blackmoor. Though, given just how odd Blackmoor can be, what kinds of tales they may tell may seem rather tame compared to what many encounter. As the evening's festivities begin to pick up, gifts begin to get exchanged, merriment is truly had. Several dances begin to take place. Men and women alike begin to get deep inside their cups, enjoying. Before too much longer, the grand giving is about to commence. Jarl hops up on top of his bar and he goes, "All right, everybody, settle down. This is maybe the first time that I ever set foot on my bar again, at least for a year, but this is the only way that I can make it to where you'll all see me. This is not free liberty for any of you wankers to get up on my bar and start dancing. Don't even try it."
Aw, come on now.
No! You green-haired bastard. All right. So, all right. The great giving is about to begin. Please, each of you have in turn selected your gift and or made your gift of stone and pass it to the other. Allow it to strengthen your bonds between one another in friendship, in love, and in kindness. And then after that, half-price pints for everybody! Ah! As the crowd kind of like erupts. And several minstrels begin to play, and music starts happening, and you guys all start to see gifts given to one another. In various forms, some are wrapped, some are not. Some are gifts of jewelry, others are gifts of simple toys. But all around, everyone is looking around. And at that moment, it takes just a little hint as you realize that while you may not necessarily be with your families, you are with your found families. And sometimes your found families are just as important, or if not more important, than those that you call family. And you all drink to one another, have merriment. Fortuna, do you take this opportunity to join your cohorts, or do you hold it up at the bar?
I would definitely, at this point, seeing Kalita walk in, approach her real quiet, like, kind of slink up behind her, tap her on the shoulder.
It's so lovely to see you. How are you, my darling?
I was just wondering if that last book that I found for you, is that the one you were looking for? Was that finally right?
It was helpful. It was very helpful. I think I might have a lot more reading to do. It doesn't. I'm not as fast at it as you are.
Well, that's perfectly okay. I just wanted to make sure that you were getting what you need, because if you need help with the library, I mean, I can always go for you. It's really not a problem. I know I've been in there quite a bit, but I know you have your whole situation, and I know that people have looked at me funny, and I don't want people looking at you funny, and I especially don't want my library burnt down because I go there a whole lot. So
Yes, that is the goal, is to not burn the library down. I do. While you're here, I'm very glad you're here. I have something for you. And
What, for
Kalita
me?
is going to pull out a little, just tiny bag
Mm-hmm.
and hand it to Fortuna.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm gonna pop. What is it, like drawstring? Can I just pull it
Yeah,
open?
it's just like a drawstring bag.
Yeah,
Look,
I'll
I'm
pull it
not
open.
trusted around a lot of paper, so wrapping is a bit difficult sometimes.
No, that's fine. I just didn't expect anybody to give me a gift before. I don't think I've ever really. Usually, everyone just kind of looks at me like they're a little weirded out. So the fact that you went out of your way to give me something, That's
You've
real
been
sweet.
so helpful. It's been so lovely getting to meet you and talk with you. And I figured
Well,
this might be a bit useful in your studies, or at least a little bit of fun, little flair.
a little flare. Okay, that's fun. I'm gonna take a look
As
in the
you
bag.
open it up, there is a quill with a red feather that shifts at the tips of the like the little whatever you call the little bits of feather, the
The
Fletchings?
fibers.
The fletching?
the fletching.
Yeah, at the tips of the fletching. That seems to almost waver immaterially.
This is beautiful. Where did you find this?
Oh, I have a friend.
I can't wait to copy down spells with this. This is so pretty. I'm so excited. Thank you. Thank you. She reaches out to hug you and then really quickly puts her one gold arm down and reaches out with the other one.
Yep, she fully pulls you into a hug. She's very warm, very
Oh,
warm,
okay. She picks her gold
like
arm back up and hugs you with both.
the warmest hug.
Um, uh, with that lovely brief exchange between two friends, the party kicks off, and Jarl goes over as the room begins to get a little warm. Kalita, you're just like, this is just fine to me. The the warmth begins to kick up, and Jarl pushes the front doors open, kind of props them up to let a little bit of that cool air of the north come flowing through. And at that, you all begin to see the snow start to fall. It's the first snow of the year. It's been bitter cold so far this winter, but no snow as of yet. And for the first time, everybody kind of looks out, and they take almost a comfort in the fact that the snow has begun to fall, and it begins to pile and take purchase. These fluffy white flakes, and the merriment for everybody seems to be just that much better. Um, uh, Past that, though, the night progresses. Does anybody wish to take a chance at the...
Yep.
Oh. Oh, he does he?
Yep.
At the what?
At the
I don't know.
gambling tables.
Yep.
At the gambling table. So, Aurel, you find yourself surrounded by several very hardened-looking dwarves, all looking to spend their hard-earned coin in games of chance. They look to you and state, "Well, it's a 10 gold buy-in. What have you brought, Fancy Pants?"
What do I got?
What's on your character sheet?
Nothing.
Then nothing.
Okay. I forget if we were supposed to start with gold or not.
All of you should have started with 10 gold pieces.
10 gold. Sweet. Well, I got 10 gold on me. It sounds like I have just enough to get in, but trust me, play long enough and I'll be able to play more rounds.
Right, okay. Are we whispering for a reason? Or...
No,
okay.
just sometimes I do that.
All right,
you know?
lads, let's see what old Greenhair's got. What are you saying? They all kind of like let out this jovial laughing and whatnot. They're like, okay, easy winnings. All right. And they produce a cup, right? With dice. And they sit it down. And they go,
Yes.
Great. We're playing minor, foreman, and finder. I'm sure
Okay.
you're familiar with the game.
You know, I am very familiar, but it's always good to go over the rules when you play with new people. So, if you would please explain them to me.
They're essentially playing a dwarvish version of Captain Bosun and crew. If you're familiar with the dice game, how many sixes can you get? How many fives
Liar's
can you
dice,
get?
yes. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't know no liar's dice. I know Captain
Same thing as that, right?
Captain
Like,
Bosun and crew. It's pirates dice. And that's what they're sitting around playing.
okay.
So
what's that?
can I, if I see that, I'm assuming I'm seeing him going to the table, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I'm going to just real quietly and kind of not stealthily, but like I'm going to watch. I'm going to put a hand on his back and cast message and say, "Don't worry, I got you."
You hear a voice in your head. A very
Just-
familiar voice.
I just shake my head. Kind of like this, like, okay, I hope you don't get me killed trying to
And
cheat.
right as the game starts, I would like to cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Here we go. Starting off strong, friends.
Oh
I did
Can
not
the-
ask for this.
Can
I'm
the
gonna
casters
die.
in the peanut gallery? Can we get like an Arcana check to notice?
Please.
Oh,
'Cause-
100%.
Like from a table over, yeah,
100%. So, when
get
she
kicked
goes to cast it, right? You happen to see what I imagine is her gold arm drop down, and you see her fingers moving in a very particular way. So, if you would like to make an Arcana check, what is your spell DC save, Fortuna?
Let's see. My spell DC save on Detect Thoughts is a 13.
So you need to pass an Arcana check with a DC of 13 to determine what it is that she's casting.
19.
19.
6.
Well, Kalita, you're like, wow, them some fancy finger work she's got going on over there, right?
That seems very much not my
Yeah,
thing.
no, not at all. Not as primal as you're used to. But Zephyrian, you very much notice the game that she's fixing to play while Oriel is playing another game.
Oh, Zephyrian goes ooh, and like it's very like does like the elbow on the table. Like let's see where this goes. But also he's gonna kind of whisper over to Kalita. He's like, if this goes south, we're gonna have a classic case of run away from angry drunk dwarves. Just I don't know if you noticed what's happening over there.
Gambling?
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, but Fortuna's playing an entirely different game. And he bends down and he laces his boots.
I mean, at least running away from dwarves is a bit easier.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and he buckles it. He
Mental note:
Oh.
chase Kalita with dwarves.
I said a bit easier.
As the game commences, what particular thoughts are you attempting to... Because they're into their cups, they're not going to necessarily actively try and resist, as for all they know, that's just more good ale swimming over their minds. What particular thoughts are you searching for?
So, since the game is sometimes endearingly called Liar's Dice, I want to see if I'm hearing anything like, oh, he's never going to guess that I have this, this, and this. Or
Oh, okay.
he'll never know that I'm telling him a lie about what I have under my cup or something like that.
Okay. All right, fair enough. So, for the purpose of this particular game, right? We're not actually going to play Liar's Dice because, well, for the lack of a better term, if the rest of the crowd can't see the dice, then, I mean, you know. So how we're going to do this, right, is you and I will roll off, right? I will roll for them, and you will roll for yourself. All right?
Like a D20, or what are we rolling?
You're going to roll D6s.
D6, okay.
All right? And you're going to roll 3 D6s, and I'm going to roll 3 D6s. And whichever one of us has the higher number, right, will determine who is technically the one with the
winner.
upper hand,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
However, I am going to make a deception check every time. You will be able to roll to detect my deception if you so choose.
Okay. And what am I rolling perception for that, or what am I rolling to detect?
You're going to roll perception against my deception.
Okay.
All right. Now, you are going to have advantage as you have a friend who is helping you.
Advantage on the perception.
Correct.
Okay.
All right. So,
And is there any drawback to? You said if I want to do the perception, I can. Is there any drawback to if I do it?
well, let's just say if you start acting and getting every hand right, they might become a little suspicious.
Okay. Okay. Sounds
Because
good. And how
obviously, no one's that good.
and how many before I win? Like, is it best out of 3?
Best out
Okay.
of 3. All right. So, roll your dice.
Okay.
He sits across from you and says, "Hey," like what they all kind of go through their numbers. They're like, "I've got 2 6s and a 5."
And are we actually would you're saying that's your total 2 6s and a 5?
Yep.
Oh, because you're trying to say, okay, well, you got a high number, and I got to say, well, is mine higher than that?
Yeah.
So you're saying you had 17.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're right. This is very hard to tell if you're telling the truth or not. You are very good at this game.
It's the first roll.
But you got a very good, good face. And I'll go ahead and roll perception on that.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Roll it.
Welcome to me. I got a 6 and a 9.
A 6 and a 9. Well, you're not quite sure, but he sounds pretty confident to you.
Yeah.
Fortuna, you very much sense this man is lying through his teeth.
Oriel, you get another message in your head. I don't know what you want to do with this, but he didn't get 2 6s and a 5.
And if I call him as a liar, it just means that I could be like, really, it just comes down to who has the most.
Yeah, right. You're calling his bluff.
Yeah. You know, I don't doubt that you have a really high roll, but I don't know that you have a higher roll than me. It makes it pretty difficult, but you know, there's a good chance you have a higher roll than me. So, I don't know how to proceed if I'm not calling his bluff.
You can essentially fold.
I'm folding. I think you have higher numbers.
He goes, and he like reaches in and scoops the pot, right?
So I'm better off just always calling his bluff because then we see both hands, and if I'm wrong, he scoops the pot anyways.
Correct. If you don't think of it like poker, if you realistically, if you don't call his bluff, if you don't try and call his bluff,
then I may as well just call his bluff every time.
You can,
right? Because if I fold, he just gets it. If I call it,
but if you call it, then you have to bet more gold.
Well, I don't have any more gold. And it's the best out of 3, though, right? Before it's a win.
Yeah.
So we still play 2 more times.
Correct.
Okay, well, I can't bet more gold, so.
All right.
Okay.
He throws him. He's looking, and while he doesn't give you the numbers, Fortuna, he very much has a very solid feeling of confidence. He has a 6, a 4, and a 4.
You know what? I want to call you, but I seem to be in a predicament of not being able to bet you more. And you seem to have a decent amount of gold. I would like to call you if you give me a favor of just letting me call you without betting more. Yeah?
I don't think he's lying anyway.
What say we I don't know. Those blades look like they're worth a few gold.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, if you feel like putting them on the table. It's Winterfest after all, right?
Yeah, but I need to keep my blade. Anything else on me you'd like? What about if I buy you a round or something? Or
But you just said you're out of gold.
Yeah, I know.
You know, there's no shame in just taking your loss and going, you know what? It might be too rich for my blood. It's okay. You're an elf. We understand.
Yeah.
Toledo watches this unfold,
look,
lets him sweat a little bit.
I would like
Before-
to call you because I think I beat
Yeah, no,
you,
she's
but
coming over.
I
She's
can't
coming to
bet
help.
the.
Toledo's gonna just slide you a couple gold. With my background, I actually have 15.
Yeah?
Should I change that to 10 or keep it at 15?
No, keep it at 15 due to your background.
Beautiful.
Okay, but I don't think
Toledo's
this is.
gonna slide you 3 gold.
I
I
don't-
expect
I don't.
you to pay me back.
Yeah, but and you know his face by now of like I think he actually has this hand. So uh, whatever, I'll call you anyways. Yeah, okay. Here's 3 gold. Here's a gold. Can I call you and give you a gold? I
Yeah,
don't know.
Toledo watches him almost put all 3 in at once and is like,
He's so bad at this.
I put the 1 gold in. Thank you to Kalita. Thank you.
He
welcome.
says, all right, let's see what you got then. You want to call?
Okay.
Throw what you
Yeah.
got.
Okay. Boom. I got a 6, a 4, and a 1. I got 11.
He's got a 6, a 4, and a 4.
I
Yes,
did. He
I'll
kind of
just
beat me.
take that. You want to go for the third one, or do you think you're tapped out?
No, we'll go for the. This was out the 3, right? Of course, we play out the 3.
Okay, all right, last one. And he puts his
Last
cup
one.
down and he shakes it back and forth real fast.
Yeah, true to my nature. Yeah.
He looks over at you, Fortuna. And you begin to get nothing from him.
Okay. So, I think I got you on this one.
Right. I'm calling 666.
Yeah, you would too. I bet, huh? You probably have triple ones. I'm going to call you, and I slide in a gold because you don't got more than my 666.
He literally lifts his cup up, and it's 3 6s. 3 dragon eggs.
Crap. He got better than me. Claudia, I kind of lost 2 gold for you. I'm sorry.
He just
And,
lets out a big, barrelless, boisterous laugh. And he says, "You're all right, pointy ear, but that's okay. Next time."
I will
Don't-
be back in. I will win next time.
He's like out of the pot. You can see a pot of about 50 gold amassed there, right? He slides 15 of it back over to you. For services rendered, though, next time, don't bring a fortune teller
I did
to
what?
liar's dice.
And there's a very clear expression to anyone that I am confused by that comment. Like even to him, if he's sober enough to see it, like legitimately confused by bring a fortune teller. Well, I didn't know such thing. But okay, thank you for your. I'm not going to argue, and he just gave me money back and more than I spent, so
Mhm.
I'm not going to argue. With the
Happy
guy.
Winterfest.
Happy Winterfest, and as I walk away, Claudia, do you know what he's talking about?
are we starting a new thing where Rory can't pronounce my character names?
No, that's normal.
Kalidia, what is your
It's
name?
still wrong.
What's your name?
Kalita.
Kalita. Yes, Kalita.
It's the first
Kalidia's
episode, folks.
way
Please
too
bear
close,
with
very
us. We're
not
doing
good.
our
I
best.
I understand, and so your name will be confusing. What is your name again?
Nida.
Well, it's definitely Kalita. Kalita. What is he talking about? I can't say your name. You, my friend, what is he talking about?
Wow. This is I don't need to do nothing. I'm just gonna let Rory just look
Yeah.
at character names and we're just gonna go.
It's
I
not like
avoid
he's on the
names like-
Zoom or anything.
I'm glad he took the heat off me.
He couldn't say my name. Your name just is too close to something. What, my friend, what is he talking about?
Well, Fortuna may have been trying to be a bit sly.
Oh my goodness. You never do that in a game.
doing no such thing.
Okay, well, I don't know. Anyways, what's done is done. Here's your 2 gold back. Thank you very much
Thank
for that.
you.
I really appreciate that. And Fortuna, if you were doing that, I do appreciate your help, but that could get me stabbed. I don't want to be stabbed.
You do know that voice in your head was me, right?
Yeah, I knew you were talking to me.
I told you I got you. I told you he was lying, and then you didn't call it.
I don't think he was lying. That makes sense more why I was hearing that. I was really trying to focus on the game. I'm sorry. Also, I was a bit distracted. It's Winterfest. And by the way, you, my friend, I got a gift for you. And he points to you.
Wow, that's great.
You can do
We're not
it.
sitting
You
in a
can do it.
virtual call or anything.
Yeah, but y'all know who I'm talking about. But yeah, it's Winterfest. I would imagine you gave one to Fortuna. I'd imagine Fortuna and him also have gifts for people. But I got one for you because we have now known each other for a little while. And he'll pull out a small amulet made of stone. And on that amulet there is intricate carvings of flames. And it looks like a harmony of flames and earth in the imagery. And he hands that to you. Hey, because I know that you like things and you like fire, and this should last you a while.
It
And you bring
should.
such harmony between like the exciting light of the night and the grounding of the earth. I just thought this would be fitting to you.
It's lovely. Thank you, my friend.
Uh-huh. I would have had your name put on it too, but I couldn't remember how it was spelled.
Spelling just isn't your strong suit.
Nope.
And she takes it and puts it around her neck, and admires it for a bit.
And as you are exchanging gifts, the doors open, the snow beginning to slowly start to pile up and wetting the floor as the heat from inside the tavern, most are there. I need you all to make a perception check, if you will, please.
Absolutely. Oh shit! No, stay in the. Oh shit! That's a 20.
There you go.
You also get a natural 20?
25.
She sees
Well-
all.
I got a natural 20 minus 1. So
Oh.
19.
19, not bad. Still a natural 20, but not quite. Zephyrian, how did you fare?
15.
All right. And Oriel?
Well, Oriel is a little bit distraught about losing the gold. So he got the 7.
Rory, your dice seem to carry from game
To
To
game
game
to game
to
from
game.
year to year to year.
Yeah. You know what? But, they say the dice tell the story. Yours are definitely a story of loss and trauma. You all look over and you see, with the exception of Oriel, who is like, what fine yet rustic architecture. And if you can name what that's from, then you get advantage or inspiration or what have you. As you are staring at the fine yet rustic architecture, the rest of you see a cloaked individual kind of stammer into the tavern. His footfalls are labored. You can't quite make out his face. But he kind of stumbles in and finds an open chair and kind of slops onto it and reels back. You can see what amounts to him clutching something underneath his cloak.
Darkness Rising is what it's from.
Ah, good man, good man. You get who told you that?
Google.
I was like,
Google.
Wow, that doesn't count. No, none for you. Sorry. Nope. You do not.
Does this?
You do not get
None
to
for
consult.
Gretchen Wieners.
You do not get to consult the Oracle of Google. Say again. I'm sorry.
Does this man or figure look like stumbling in a sick sort of way or a pained sort of way, or just I'm drunk?
He looks A mixture of pain and exhaustion.
Uh, Kalita immediately clocks it
Mm-hmm.
and rushes over. Uh, Kind of like putting a hand out to support this
Mm-hmm.
person's chest. Like, are you all right?
As he leans forward, the cloak over his face kind of slowly peels back, and you are met with a face where half of it appears to be burned away, and you see blackened bone with no eye, his cheekbone missing, scarred as if the flesh itself could not actually heal back over, just leaving the bone exposed. He leans forward and he winces, and you pull your hand back from his tunic, and as you do, you realize your hand is bloodstained. In that moment, you realize, looking around, that nobody else seems to really. The merriment has happened. No one has quite caught on to this particular man's injuries.
Does the facial injury look recent or
No, it looks like it's scarred, like it's been there for a while.
there's a moment where she sees the burns and like that's the what has her pull her hand back and then she sees the blood. She's like, okay, that's something I can fix. Like, so do you need help? And I'm just gonna reach forward and there is a flicker of warmth across her fingertips. I'm going to use healing hands.
Okay. All right. As you begin to use healing hands, you feel it sort of pulse out, right? And when you do, the glow that emanates from your hand, right? You see the empty socket begin to glow with a pinkish like hue, and the healing hands begins to burn, a sensation which you've never felt in all of your life, only what you can imagine fire feels like, as if he is warded against being saved, as if your healing touch causes more damage, not only to him, but yourself. As he lets out a blood-curdling scream, and he slumps over. And it's as if a record just... as everybody turns and looks. His hand drops, and a bloody amulet rolls out.
How far are they away from Oriel?
Oh, they're no more than 10 or 15 feet.
Hmm.
No, nobody touch that amulet. At least not until we understand. I tried to help him, and whatever I did, it
Pretty
didn't mean to.
pretty not abrasively, but quickly. I'll move over by her side and uh, crouching next to her as if I'm consulting with her and hearing her, and I will to that degree, but constantly looking around as well, not trying to be over obvious, but prepping for whatever might unfold.
Zephyrian's going to stand up and rush over to help as well. Um, he sees that. Did the amulet? Did it hurt him? Is this what caused it?
I
What
don't
did you
know.
see?
I've never seen anything like this before.
Hmm.
Usually, when I heal people, it heals things, not makes it worse.
What? Oh God! What happened to his face?
As you
That
say that, he just as he sucks in a breath. Xerix is coming, and he slumps over again and falls to the ground.
does that name mean anything to any of you?
Can I get a history check or any kind of?
Yeah, does
Sure.
it mean anything?
Yeah, you can attempt to make a history check if you like.
Okay. I would like to.
While this
Him or
is all
both of us?
happening, that would be the last thing Fortuna hears before she loses her vision and her hearing, and she's gonna send her familiar out to do like a perimeter check of around
Sure.
the tavern.
What did you get on the history check?
Oh, I just had it's pretty high.
I can't see your rolls right now, so you
D&D
gotta tell me.
Beyond, please. Where's the campaign
What'd you
history? Oh,
roll?
here.
It's high.
Chat log
It's
17.
it's high. Just
It's in the
bare
chat
bullshit.
log, in the hidden chat log feature.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. You've heard of a lost general of Xerix. The only thing that you know was that he is a name connected to the Great Army of the North.
Xerix, I remember there's somehow a connection to the great armies of the North. I don't know if it's in relation to the Black Ice, or I can vaguely think of something, but I agree. Don't touch that amulet. I have just a thing for this. And he's gonna kind of turn, and I have medicine on my hand. I'm not like doing a Mickey Mouse thing.
Huh.
And he's gonna clap his hands, and like a portal's gonna open in the floor, and then a robed figure's gonna shoot up out of it like they came out of a cannon, and like smack into the ceiling, and the portal closes, and then just like a form just kind of falls to the floor, and then you hear like kind of a popping and cracking as it stands up as like a person in a robe, with like a cowl over the face, and I'll Zephyrian says, "Pick that up," and he points to the amulet, and the figure bends forward, and you see leather gloved hands come out of the purple sleeves of the robe and like pick up the amulet and hold it.
I'll never get used to, no matter how many times you do that. That always throws me off.
This is everyone. This is Johann. Anyway, so yes, this amulet.
As Johann reaches down, it's sounding like someone repeating their cracking their knuckles over and over and over and over, as with every
Like my
movement
knees on leg day.
Yeah, exactly. And you didn't wear wrists, but anyway, and he holds up the amulet and he holds it out, right? And on this amulet, all you see is a circle, right? It's very much circular and what looks to be a faceless watch. Where the hands would tell time, you see a needle poking out.
Like outwards?
Like
Like stabbing?
like if you're holding it like this, there's a needle poking straight up.
Like a sundial.
Almost, yeah.
Ah.
Fortuna, through your familiar's eyes, out, you see the footsteps. You follow the trail. And as far as your familiar flies, before the wind becomes too strong or the air too cold, you can see that he has walked from the north down through the woods. Once you hit the woods, it's a little hard to follow, but he has come a minimum of at least a mile through this cold weather on foot.
And for those of you that were in the chat asking what Fortuna's familiar is, his name's Ray Ray. He's a big raven.
Ray Ray the Raven, friends. Ray Ray the Raven.
My sweet.
Back inside the tavern, though, what do you all wish to do? The party has very much come to an abrupt stop. Jarl comes over. What's all this nonsense? Let's go. What in the seven hells happened to this guy? Who is he?
We don't know. Does anyone have a room we can put him in? Just so we're not in front of.
Right.
He's not dead, just so you know. He's not dead. He's just passed out right now.
If he is dead, I had nothing to do with it.
Right. Gloin, grab him and take him down the hall to one of the guest rooms. I mean, nobody uses them anyway, except these knuckleheads. Anyway, so like two of the dwarves come running over and they scoop him up, right, and they huddle him back or whatnot, and then but the Johann stands there, just hands outstretched, his claw-like gloved fingers, just holding the amulet.
Follow us, and I'll motion for Johann to. Are we going to the room as well with the figure?
I'd do it. Well, do we want to? he seems to be passed out right now, not very helpful to us. And he said that someone is on his way right now, or that they are on their way.
Well, is there anything that we can do about that from out here, or is it better to get where there aren't so many eyes?
I don't know. I mean, this guy does not know that we know he's coming. I don't know if he's coming tonight or tomorrow, but he still doesn't know that we know.
Let's follow him in case he wakes up and gives us more context.
Maybe we can talk privately in the room as well.
Yes.
Y'all see Fortuna just sitting at the bar with her arms out, just like
I'm gonna
feeling
go
around,
get
or, like,
Fortuna.
holding the bar.
Grab her.
I'm just going
Can't
to
or see anything right now.
like put hand on her shoulder. Just letting her do her full reaction, whatever she wants to be doing, until she realizes that it's just a warm hand, that very familiar warmth.
Yeah, she clearly like tenses up and gets ready to cast something, and then just and puts her hand back down and just kind of slumps.
Yeah, and
She'll
then
stand up and like trust you're guiding her. She'll put a
She's gonna
hand on
just-
your shoulder.
How she's little, isn't she?
She's not that little. She's like 5'6".
Okay, she's shorter than me. So gonna like kind of wrap arm around and just very carefully guide through the bar so that she doesn't hopefully run into anything.
Okay.
Until Ray Ray gets back.
I'm going to stay out here. I don't have a good feeling about this. I kind of operate in these areas. I'm going to go sit down to the nearest table by the door. And if there is a table, like when the door opens, if there's a table behind where the door would open, so I'm kind of masked by the door,
Yeah.
I would like to sit at that table.
Okay.
He's just gonna go for full Aragon.
Right? He's a little too colorful,
Oh.
but
Okay, you said Aragorn. I thought you said Aragon, and I was like, did anyone else read those? I thought that was like some weird fever dream that I had as a
Oh
child.
no, Aragon was not a fever dream.
Tempest. Hello.
Yeah. Grissinger?
Right. Read those with my daughter. Anyway, so you get him into this back room, right? Though his body does not seem to have a pulse or to be breathing.
I don't think he's getting back up. And I don't have any way of getting him back up, as turns out healing people doesn't always heal them.
Try a medicine check. Just kind of poke him and
Sure. Make a medicine
see if he's
check.
got anything else going on. All right. I rolled a nat 20. -1 is 19.
You notice that, like, even though he has no pulse, there are still slight movements in his body.
Oh.
That seems concerning.
Yeah, so I don't think I think he's undead of some kind of. You said that you tried to heal him and it hurt him?
Yes.
So maybe a curse has
I'm
him.
wondering if it's the same, if it's because of the origin of the healing.
Can I try to identify him? Is he wearing any insignias or
All of his clothes look to be, for lack of a better term, if you could say archaic in a medieval fantasy style type game, they would seem archaic. They are out of date. They are very out of fashion. His armor looks to be of a craft that you have not seen or heard of, only seen pictures in old historical documents. You see that his, though it's a mix match, you look at his armor and it's old, yet the daggers on his side are new and of a newer type of metal of which you've not quite seen. Several odd trinkets exist on him. And as you're looking him over, you hear an odd click, click, click noise emanating from somewhere in his chest.
Can I look see where, because I had put my hand on his chest and fresh blood came off onto it, where that wound would be.
You notice that the wound is more like on his side, and when you go to look at it, right? When you go to look at it, it looks as though it was. It looks, and you've seen this having been so far north in the wilds, like he was attacked by a wolf. Like a wolf got a chunk of him out of his side, where his armor plate on the front, right, and on the back would have normally connected. The straps are loose, and so there is a gap, and that seems to be where a wolf was able to get a chunk out of his side.
So sometimes a messenger is sent forth after a combat where a warlord wants the foe to know they're coming. Sometimes that could be one thing. It could be that maybe he was trying to warn us in a good way, but was attacked on the way here. But
Potentially, but what would
so old. All of this stuff is so old.
When Ray Ray did that perimeter check, when he saw the footprints, was there any blood following them? Like, did it look like he was bleeding as he was walking or anything like that?
No, there is not.
Okay. Is he back at this point? Can I see again?
Yeah, you can see, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure because I had Ray Ray check outside and there's no blood trailing behind him or anything like that. It looks like he was fine until he got here. And that means he walked about a mile in this freezing cold with the snow and all that
with a
wind.
chunk bit out of him?
Zephyrin's gonna open his robe, or
Wow.
whatever his armor is. He's gonna take it off of his chest.
All right, as you go and
I've got to see what's going on in here.
As you go and begin to pull it off and take it off, the clicking noise becomes a little more apparent. Right? In the stillness of this room, you can hear it. And as you remove the one chest plate, the robes old and tattered, you see something over his heart that is metallic in nature and slightly moving, ever so slightly.
Assuming this is his heart, he's still alive?
That's not a heart. That's some kind of contraption.
Well, he's like a machine or like an automaton, or there are the undead powered by curses or spirits or magic. And his eyes will drift to Johann and then back again. There are other ways.
His body kind of jerks for a moment, and his eye kind of flutters slightly, and you hear a psh, as on his chest, just underneath, you see that metal disc shape pop up. And then his body lies completely still.
Okay, I'm going to try something. Don't freak out. I'm going to cast Shocking Grasp.
Okay.
And just
Clear.
like try to I'm going to try to push that little thing down that popped up and just give him a little something.
Okay.
See if it
very much just like
I'll wipe my hand off. I had to try.
I mean, it was worth. Have you ever seen anything like this?
Well, I mean, the history of this whole region of Blackmoor, back before really almost recorded history, there was tales of cities and machines and whole civilizations of people. But I mean, we didn't thought it was myth. I have seen things like this far from here, not in the same form, but the act of animating a body with machinery. Yes, I have seen it before. Nothing like this. This is something totally different.
Does it look like whatever popped out can be like taken?
If
Or
if you remove the clothing, you'll see that it is popped out, and it has almost like a, forgive the expression, it has a handle on it like a heart plug, if you know what I mean. And you can grab and pull.
Johan.
yeah.
I'm gonna have Johan. I'm gonna stand like back
Yeah,
and
backing up.
let Johan pull that thing out.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It's-
hide behind
Its
Kalita.
bony fingers outstretch and grab all them popping noises of the cartilage on cartilage as it grabs and it pulls. And as it pulls, you see this about 9-inch apparatus begin to come out with it, out of this cylinder, with this black and red mixed goo covering it, almost kind of like a thick pudding, one would say.
Ew.
And as he pulls it out, the gears begin to turn as if they're looking to try and find purchase on mechanisms that are no longer there. And by the time Johan completely pulls it out, this black and red goo just drips onto the floor, and the machine, the mechanical turning, just stops.
Absolutely
Hmm.
terrifying. That's unnatural.
It looks really sticky.
Hmm. Zephyrian's gonna kind of tear off a piece of the guy's robe and wrap that thing in it and put it in his backpack.
Do you examine it at all, or no?
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Yeah.
As you look it over, what languages do you speak?
Common and Elvish.
I can also cast Identify if anyone would like me to do that.
That would be lovely. Come on, nerds.
Come on, nerds, tell us what's there.
Look, I'm not playing a smart person.
Oh, if you can just okay. If you keep it, just I don't want to touch it. I don't touch it. Okay. If you keep it in that little robe, and then if I can try to, I guess I'll just lay it on the floor.
Johan, hold it out, and he holds it in his little hands.
She like folds a piece of the robe on top of it, and then puts her hand on it and casts Identify. So her gold arm, you guys see in the joints of this golden prosthetic arm that she has. All of the joints kind of turn this like shimmering turquoise blue, and then out of her fingers comes this turquoise glittery energy that boop, right onto the.
Oh well, maybe you'll know
Apparatus.
something about this.
Okay.
You've got clockworks going on.
So what you pick up is you can't quite identify this. This is beyond a knowledge base that you understand. However, you can sense schools, and there is a faint trace of necromantic magic on it.
That's unsurprising.
However, there is another magic, an elemental magic, that is tied to it as well. Now, you're not quite sure if this is residual feeling from, Zephyrian the Defibrillator, or if this is tied to the person, creature, thing. What languages do you speak, Fortuna?
I speak Common, Elvish, and Infernal.
The runes on it don't quite make too much sense to you as you look at it. But you can tell that it's old. You can tell that it is of necromancy. And you can tell that it has a degree of elemental.
Well, I can't exactly read it, but it's elemental, and there's some necrotic school of magic here, so I'm not entirely sure where this comes from.
In hearing the elemental aspect, Kalita's just gonna kind of peer her head around. She's keeping a good distance from this thing, especially hearing like the necrotic energy.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything about it sets her like nerves on end. But she takes a look at the runes. I speak Celestial, Common, Druidic, and Primordial.
You can, at a glance, make out some druidic runes. The only rune that you can make out from it is life. However, it's interlaced with something else.
There's some weirdly druidic aspect. It's not all, but that right there, that means life. And I'm sure it's being twisted in some way.
So this is
It is nasty.
very complex. Necromantic wizardry and divine druidic life energy.
Yeah, that primal energy is somewhere in there, but I can't make much out.
Do we know anyone who could?
Boom, 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 boom. Right, you guys all right in there? Like, you done, messing about with the dead guy? What's happening here?
Just about done messing with the dead guy. Thanks for checking.
Right, okay.
And as a question, is there anything going on the outside?
No.
Okay.
And I mean, we could bring the dead guy back down to your establishment,
Well,
or you could let us do what we need to do.
I mean, that's fine, but, like, we've got concerned customers, and they're not spending coin, because there is a dead guy in the building.
All right, all right, all right. So you need someone to come and tell them what's going on.
Right, that would be most appreciated.
I got this. And
You've got
Zephyrian
this?
would kind of like brush off his and
Are we sure you've got this? Like, are we going to instill
Got this.
confidence in the people below?
they will hear the yes, but it seems like there's more. I can't help anymore at this situation. If there's druidic elemental energy there, I'm pretty much done.
Well, I think the goal might be downstairs is to make sure that there's not, a general panic.
There won't be. Dwarves are a strong people. Have faith.
Yeah, the people.
And, unless it feels to me like you really want to go do this.
Be able to. Look, I've been sweet talking these people for a while. They just
By all
need a bit of
means.
distraction. And maybe not all the truth.
If you think that's best.
At the very least, not the scary bits.
Can we just hear what you're gonna tell them before you go ahead and do it, so when we come back downstairs, we know what to expect?
That's smart. Really, we're just going to. There were injuries. We're going to talk about the wolf bite. Something had attacked him while he was traveling here.
How about the message from the north? Zarek is coming. This kind fellow came to warn us and tragically died to his wounds doing the heroic deed. Huh?
That could work. That could work. That leaves out the scariest bits, though. He looks really like the clothes are throwing me off.
We don't have to get. He'll be in the ground. They won't. They don't need to know the.
Oh yes, no, we're not that bit. All right. Yes, that seems like a good plan.
See, I had this.
I know.
With that, as the group decides to go ahead and pull together to figure out what it is that they are,
Our alibi.
Their alibi
Right.
for the moment. We are going to take our one and only break for the stream. So go grab your drinks, grab you some dinner, do what you got to do. We'll be back in 5 to 10, friends.
There's an AI companion button in Zoom. I want to click it. Did I
Where
click
is
it?
that? Can I have an actual familiar?
AI companion. Click.
I'm gonna
Ask
go open
admin to
it.
enable AI. Oh man. Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, yeah, how you guys doing so far? I'm over here sweating bullets like a champ, because,
You're doing good.
This
I
is a lot
have
of
not.
fun.
You
This
know
is
what? I'm not
fun.
gonna lie.
loving
I
this.
normally don't sweat streams, but for whatever reason tonight, I am the
Yeah.
Tuesday night stream has me sweating it bad.
It's been the
Um,
suspense. It was like, oh yeah, we're gonna have it. Oh, next week. Oh, next week. And now here we are.
Yeah, right. Um. No. Oh, yeah. Roy, don't let me forget to announce the giveaway.
I was wondering
Yeah.
about
So
that.
I just look over. It's sitting right here. I'm like, don't let me forget
Yeah.
to announce that.
You want to do that right after break? And
Yeah.
then
Yes, we
get them.
yes we will. Yes we will. Yes. Oh my God. Yeah, I could have swore one of you guys spoke that language but then again-
Brungal. Brungal just sent a message for you, Kurt.
Ah, thanks, Brew.
Well, I mean,
appreciate
one
it.
of us probably has comprehend languages as like a ritual cast, but like not. I mean, it's not
Nope.
something that you would
Not
have
me.
prepped.
I'm
I
as
currently don't have
basic
it
as
either.
you.
It's all good. It's all good. I am 100% like yeah. Let's hope we get there. I
Where?
am very. I hope the story turns out good because I have plans for it. It's
Feel free to just like cut off our random shenanigans to like
No.
actually get back to.
No,
We could
no.
spend 45 minutes
Having
No.
shenanigans.
coming up with our
Well,
alibi.
no, because
Yeah.
the whole thing is that's very important. I think, in my opinion, for your first couple of sessions, right, is very much allowing the players to really kind of get a solid feel for the depth and breadth of what their character can really kind of do. And I do think that that's always really important when it comes to like session ones and stuff like that, session 1, session 2 or whatnot, right? So yeah, during these first couple of sessions, you guys are going to have the chance to like, I've been playing, Pathfinder 1E or 3.5 or 2nd edition or whatever for so long or whatnot, right? Let's give you a chance to reacclimate to this particular rule set. Right? Yeah, we've got some house rules, but reacclimate, right? And then you're good to go. You know what I mean?
It might be Amanda's character you're thinking about.
What's that?
Oh, Amanda put in the chat. LOL. You may have someone.
Yeah, it
Who
is
can-
Amanda's character that has all the
Oh.
languages. Yeah, no,
Where's
she does.
Amanda?
She does. She got swamped with a bunch of work.
There's like
She can't-
7 of them or
Yeah,
something.
she's got all the languages. So
Yeah.
there is that.
Yep.
Yeah, your
And-
resident scribe is very much laboring through Winterfest at the moment, and she'll be joining us in the next session.
It's like 3 nerds
Right?
and these 2 like impulsive.
Wait, who are the
Perfect.
impulsive ones? Who are the impulsive ones?
I feel
I know
like
I am.
I feel like Zephyrian's being a little bit impulsive, and you're the one trying to throttle him back. But you're the only one to
She
throttle him
freaks out
back, so
about
you
the
can.
necrotic
impulsive.
shit.
Oh yeah.
Who's throttle? What?
Oh,
That's
like
true. Zephyrian could entirely be an impulsive nerd.
I mean,
he's trying.
Generally speaking, Oriel would be very
Hi,
like,
Dave.
especially when his hair is green. It's he's all about the celebration and the festivals. But I mean, there's a side to him too that's like, someone's coming, someone died. I'm going to sit behind the door.
I am so unbelievably like. So here's the thing. This is a story that I didn't have in Greyhawk. It was just a generic story that I had written out or whatnot. But when Jay, Lord Gazumba, was talking about, he's like, well, if you want to do weird stuff, go to Blackmoor. Nobody really goes there because it's got a touch of a little bit of everything in Blackmoor. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, all right, sweet. And then I started to read into the lore of Blackmoor and whatnot. And I'm like, this place is amazing.
Dude, I've been reading it for the last 2 weeks. That's like with Zephyrian being over from like the Bakluni Basin coming up, because he's tracking their history, and like the Bakluni first settled here like however the hell long ago. So I'm with you. There's this whole region is just like a touch of everything. You've got your pirates and your clockwork stuff and your
Yeah.
crazy mages and your like
Yeah,
the
you
black
do-
ice stuff is really
yeah,
cool.
the black ice is great because the black
Yeah.
ice is like the way that it is like it's this whole own entity. Like it is
Yeah.
it is a thing that is a wall of ice at the same time. Oh my
Yep.
goodness. But yeah, no, it's
Yeah, I've been
it's-
diving deep on the wiki.
right. So I mean, so at the end of the day, apparently New Generation is a Christmas story, much like Die Hard. I mean, it's still a Christmas story, right?
Just because it happens at Christmas does not mean it's a Christmas story.
That is false. Prometheus happens during Christmas, and
she's
that
just
is totally
stirring it
a
up.
Christmas story.
Prometheus happens at Christmas?
You don't remember that scene in
What?
Prometheus? Yeah, in Prometheus, they walk out into the commons area, and Iris Elba, he's putting a Christmas tree together, and she goes, "What is that?" He goes, "It's a Christmas tree."
Oh man,
It's
that's
Christmas.
hilarious.
It's Christmas. It helps mark time. And it was like,
I'm with
yeah.
you, Manda.
Nope. Here's the thing. This is
You will
one-
die on that hill.
This is one thing that I will, everybody is allowed to be wrong. It's okay.
No. Ah, yes, you are allowed to be wrong, Kurt.
Yes. Again,
It's just gonna
right?
be like if they mention
Midsummer, another great Christmas movie.
if they mention Christmas in the movie, is it a Christmas movie?
Yeah.
Does it have to, or does the date have to take place?
Like
Is there a threshold?
It has to fall in the Christmas season.
What's the plus? What's the plus and minus from? Is it like a week out from Christmas or week after?
No, the Christmas season. Anytime after Thanksgiving,
Christmas
but before
needs
New
to
Year's.
The
feature as a
season. Okay.
plot point.
Right? Oh, I run a Christmas game almost every year, like 100%.
I love my Christmas game.
I love Christmas games.
We had I had a Christmas game last year that every scene, because they kept like teleporting into new scenes in this enchanted forest, each scene was a different Christmas carol. So you had like sleigh ride. So all the different like versions of sleigh ride made a difference. Like you had to follow a specific path, and the figuring out the path, you had to understand the lyrics. And then the big bad was Mariah Carey
Oh.
Nice.
as like a high level bard. It was so fun.
Manda,
Wow.
how are you going to say that with as full as my plate is, and you know how full my plate is? You can be like, am I going to do a special Christmas episode? Are you kidding me? Oh,
I just watched the Rick and Morty
looks-
Die Hard
that-
episode.
That looks
the other day.
yummy. That looks yummy.
I love food.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic about my very beige cheddar rice cakes with turkey on top of them.
No, I'm not. That looks yummy.
It's a lot of carbs, baby.
I've got my carbs getting made for me after. We're having chorizo carbonara.
Ooh. I also have reduced calorie hot chocolate with magnesium.
Woo!
Wow.
Bodybuilding.
I was like, bodybuilding. Great experience. Wonderful body. Shitty diet.
I got you all beat. So today's my birthday, and so
Happy birthday!
thank you.
Hey,
43.
Chat, happy birthday for John. Give him all the happy birthdays. Time now.
So, for my birthday, my wife makes me corned beef and cabbage, and it is so good. It is the frickin' best with lots of vinegar every year.
Ooh, vinegar.
They're like,
Me
what
and my
color?
husband-
What flavor cake do you want? Corned beef and cabbage? Duh.
Corned beef and cabbage.
Can't imagine why you like vinegar.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm
Vinegar's
just saying,
delicious.
it was probably on your grandma's table every meal.
Yeah, yeah. Canned green beans, vinegar. Right, bacon,
And
vinegar.
horseradish.
Wait,
Everything.
pan green beans with what kind of vinegar? Just like white vinegar?
Apple cider vinegar.
I eat green beans every day and I take a shot of apple cider vinegar every morning. I'm gonna put it on my green beans tomorrow.
It's good. It's really good. And then if you cook it, I mean, if you cook bacon and then mix bacon in with the canned green beans and then put the vinegar in, super good.
Hey,
Hey,
Ashlyn,
Kale.
I eat tacos. Like, I eat a taco. That's how I'm gonna eat a taco. 100%.
I eat lots of delicious food. I'd like to cook.
Also, can I just say, you guys remember how I told you my dog is bad?
Yeah, what
Yeah.
happened?
Your dog's
dog-
All
bad.
of those. I mean, he's so sweet. He's right here. He's getting head scratches, but he was very quiet in the living room, and I couldn't figure out why. And I walked past the living room to make my rice cakes, and his favorite ball is in about 400 pieces on my couch. He
Yep.
didn't eat any of it. He just exploded it everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aw.
That tracks.
Hey,
Alright.
Taylor, if you like apple cider vinegar, you should make some fire cider.
I just learned
Please
about
tell me
fire
what that
cider
is.
last
What is
night.
that?
I'll get you the ingredients, but it's you let it ferment for like 6 weeks or so, and then you strain it, and it's just a big shot of spice and vitamin C, basically, with other types of anti-inflammatories and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
so it's
that.
ginger, garlic, red onion.
There's a few variations, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot of that stuff.
I just take my supplements and call it good.
It's nice
I-
because of the spice that's in it, like the red pepper and whatnot. Uh, it actually is a warming effect chemically to your body, and so it helps warm you up as well as a
Sounds
lot
like
of
it'll
other-
clear your sinuses right up.
It's very good if you have respiratory problems. It's very good if you have digestive issues.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm
So
hoping
someone
I'm going
just
to start
said-
taking it so that it might help my abdominal pain.
So someone just said that we should put this recipe in the Discord, and what I think, because I have a Fortuna playlist. So if we want to put our fun things in the Discord,
Mm-hmm.
that way people can have access to character playlists and recipes and the sounds and tastes of Blackmore.
That's right,
I feel
friends.
like that'd be fun.
The sounds and tastes of Blackmore are apple cider vinegar, green beans, rice
Horseradish.
horseradish, rice cakes, and turkey and cheese.
Sounds
That's
about right.
that is our
And tea with a lemon slice.
Food part.
tea with a lemon
There should be
slice.
a food section of the Discord.
You know who you got to talk to about that one?
Amanda,
Let's
add food to the Discord.
add food to the Discord. Okay. Well, as soon as okay, we got Taylor back. And we will have John back momentarily, and then we will.
The dog was
Hi,
quiet again. I got
Fully,
nervous.
Amanda.
You're good. You're
Hi.
good.
Hi, I love you.
We have John
Okay,
back.
back.
We're
back.
We're good. All right. Is everybody ready? Everybody got their
Ready.
snacks. Everybody got their
Ready for this
drinks?
Christmas story?
Ready.
Yeah, sure.
Nothing. Christmas story complete with like
Mhm.
shocking Clockwork on Dead Heart.
Sure.
I'm a fan. I'm already sold.
Welcome back, friends. Once more again into the fray. But first and foremost, all right, friends, because I spaced, I have a sticky note right here on my monitor, and I still managed to miss it. How about that? We have, in good old true Blue Box tradition, we have a giveaway this evening, friends, because we are going to keep this wonderful city rolling and this party bus going. I don't know where I was going with that, but tonight's wonderful giveaway is a lightning reprint of Treasures of Greyhawk. This wonderful book for AD&D is for character levels 4 to 18. It's got a series of little missions, little things that you can go do to find some relics of Greyhawk if you're looking for a filler mission, adventure, or if you're down a player and need something to do for a little bit or whatnot. Right? The Treasures of Greyhawk is a great supplement to do that. It is written in second edition. AD&D is what the module is provided in. This is provided by the wonderful Canadian Ancient Gamer, Patrick. Thank you so much. Right? And we will be giving this away at the end of the stream. We will be typing in hashtag BlueBoxRPG to get in on it. And at the end of the stream, we will draw a lucky winner for this wonderful thing. You all know the deal. It's great. It's wonderful. I have a copy of this. I think this is this thing's great. Like, it really, really is. I may or may not be drawing from aspects of this. So, Big B's modest.
Should they be entering now? Is it ready for them to enter?
Yes, they can enter
Okay.
now. Yes, they should be able to enter now.
Is it registering for them?
Manda, I don't get to see it. Manda sees it.
Hmm.
It's open.
open.
There you go.
Okay.
It's open. Make sure you're in there and you're doing it. Manda, you can 100% enter to win giveaways. You 100% can. It makes shipping real easy. Um, but all right, friends. Back to the game as we begin. No, you can't. Well, I think differently, but that's just me. So
It's because she's a mod.
well, I mean, I'm running it so it takes me off the list completely.
Oh.
Oh no!
It's okay, Amanda. I'm entering for you.
There you go. There you go. Oh, see, look at that. If somebody wins, they said that they're gonna pass. If Bo wins, they're gonna pass it off to you.
Because I don't use modules.
I volunteers tribute for the Christmas special one shot. I never said there was a Christmas special one shot. That never happened. And it was didn't. Y'all are gonna kill me. Anyway, so back to the game, friends. To catch everybody up who may be joining us a little bit late, our friends are in the middle of Winterfest celebrations. They have exchanged their gifts, done a little bit of gambling, and had enjoyed each other's companies when a mysterious stranger had entered the tavern with odd circumstances surrounding his very being. Wounded and not saying much, clothes very much out of date and out of fashion. He had an amulet that fell from his hand onto the tavern floor, where he presumably fell unconscious, succumbing to his wounds. Kalita tried to heal him. Don't stare at me like that. I know I didn't get it wrong.
No, you're good.
Okay, good. Just making sure. Your eyes darted, and I'm like, no, I got it right. I have a post-it note right here that says what your name is. And it's spelled with phonics.
Yeah, that's how I did it too.
Uh-huh.
We're hooked on phonics.
It worked for me.
Not me.
And clearly.
So they got the body and began to inspect it and found some sort of weird mechanism inside this particular individual. And they have begun to piece together, though the townsfolk who were inside the tavern are beginning to ask questions. And Jarl, the resident tavern keeper, is asking them to make a statement, so to speak. And that is where we will join our friends.
All right, seems like everybody's getting a little bit testy downstairs.
Who's doing the public speaking for the group? Because I know it should not be me.
No, it definitely should not be you. No offense. You have many skills.
This story would come out. So there's a dead guy upstairs. We don't know what's wrong with him, but it looks like his heart's going to explode. So I don't think it's the best idea for me to be doing it.
No. I will handle the people.
And we've got our story straight.
We do. We do have our story straight.
Guy ahead of a evil army of some kind, bringing warning, dies a hero. That bit's important. We got to inspire them with this tragedy.
And Fortuna, you didn't see any signs of an army on the horizon, correct?
All I saw was just his footprints for about a mile in the snow, that's all. No blood, no nothing.
Excellent. That's very reassuring. What was the general's name again? I don't have the best memory.
I don't. Zerak was the name of the dude that's coming. I vaguely remembered some general being a general of Zerak's army, but I don't recall their name or what more about them.
All right. Zerak is coming was the warning that was given by the gentleman who at some point was attacked by a wolf. And that's why he died. Excellent.
Correct.
Can I investigate the rest of the body while they're discussing this story?
Sure.
Oh,
And who does your little friend still have that amulet?
He's probably still yes.
That might be worth taking a closer look at.
I got a 19 on my investigation.
So as you look at him, you see that there are other areas of his body that seem to have mechanical grafting. As you take a chance and the quiet of this particular moment, looking him over, the initial shock of him having worn off. You almost approach him as though he's not much more than a cadaver at this point. And your adventuring skills and whatnot come into play and begin to factor into your evaluation. You realize that there are some mechanical bits near one of his hips, and as well as one of his knees as you get his pants removed and see that where about mid thigh to mid calf is a mechanical joint that is there. Several ancient brass pistons comprise what that particular section of his leg. And the more you look at it, the more you realize that this creature is almost as mechanical as he is flesh and bone. And it begins to give uneasy feelings as you touch and examine those parts of him with your own golden arm.
This is looking like he's half construct, half human. Like someone put him together with in like bits and pieces.
Kalita looks visibly uncomfortable with that whole thing. Like, I'm gonna go talk to the people who don't have metal bits and are breathing and not resistant to
I was
healing.
gonna say, what the heck?
And she's just full, like saying this while backing out of the room, like, bad vibes, bad juju.
Fair enough.
And she's gonna go downstairs.
Okay. Anybody else remaining in the room?
Yeah, Zephyrian will stay in here while Fortuna does her examination too. I mean, is it high quality like this?
Unparalleled.
Okay, yeah. He's gonna stick around and to learn more.
You have never seen, let alone heard of craftsmanship of this kind. As you go downstairs, the crowd looks up at the stairwell with expectant eyes.
Kalita's just going to put on a like somber face, like we've done everything we can for the poor man who was attacked by a wolf.
Mm-hmm. So what do you recount to them?
Ladies and gentlemen, I know that this was a bit of a kerfuffle, a bit of a damper on our festivities. I just want to update you on the situation. Unfortunately, our guest has passed. We've found that he had been attacked by some sort of wolf or something of the like outside of town. In looking further out, it appears that he was wandering his way through the snow. At some point, must have been attacked by this creature, and that's what has caused the mortal wound that he has suffered from.
Make a performance check.
I will absolutely make a performance check. That's going to be a 17.
A 17? They kind of look you over, right? Great. They're uneasy at your explanation, though they seem to accept it for the most part.
And she's actively like wiping the very clearly, like there was a bloody wound on her hand. Like, does anyone have a towel that I can use?
The Jarl walks up with a towel and he hands it to you, and he kind of looks you over, eyeing you over, right? Like with that whole look of like, you're not telling us everything.
In this place, how much is a drink?
Well, it depends upon what you're getting. If you're getting basic ale, it's 3 copper. If you're getting Jarl special brew, it's 5 silver.
Okay. And what's the constitution of these people? Are they like snockered by this point? Are they hammered or are they like?
They're dwarves.
Yes. I don't know how much they've drank though. Are they like just fine? and no matter how much they've drank tonight, what's
They
my?
have they. It takes a lot to get a dwarf really
They're
truly
still
drunk.
decently sober, right?
They're not. I wouldn't say they're sober, but they are definitely at the we feel good for the most part. But now that feel good feeling
Kind of.
is a little like terror. So I don't know if
Yeah.
you've ever been scared while
Yeah,
drunk.
yeah.
While
Um,
You're
drunk,
like
yeah,
yes.
sober, scared,
yeah.
scared, sober. So with the crowd still being a decently, kind of a off put at the moment, and let me look, Kalita, giving this explanation, right, and asking for the tall. I do believe what my friend is saying is that a round of ale on me for you all.
That immediately gets some cheers and some, hey, and whatnot, right? Though you can definitely tell that the festivities and the cheer have been
Dampened.
dampened a bit, right? But they're still trying to make the best of the night. This most certainly is a Winterfest that many of the miners aren't soon to forget.
Yeah. Kalita's going to try and help with the bringing back the festivities, and she brought along her viol and is going to just like stand up in the center and just like jaunty tune,
All
trying
right.
to like get people back thinking and talking to each other so that there's focus shifts.
Okay, all right. What's your passive performance? So take whatever your
I
performance skill is plus 10.
13.
13. Okay. They're into their cups and they're definitely wanting to enjoy the evening. So you were able to get them kind of moving and a little more cheery, but it is still very much the whole like, holy crap, a dead guy showed up on Christmas. This
Yeah.
isn't great.
And Aurel will go ahead and you can let me know at some point of how much I just spent. But
Mhm.
Aurel will head over to Kalita and tug her, like reach under her elbow as she's playing and just softly pull her towards him. And just to liven up the moment, right? And playing off of an old memory, he will pull her as she's playing, right, to not interrupt her, but he'll pull her over to the bar. And with a matter of grace and ease, he'll step up onto a chair and step up onto the bar, and he'll keep leading her up because Stonefoot said, like, this is not an excuse or reason to get on my bar. So I'm going to
Oh yeah.
play that up, get up on the bar as she's playing, if she'll follow me up onto the bar and just
Yeah.
live up the moment and drop the coin, or hand the coin to Stonefoot and be like, drink, and just repeat, drinks on me for everyone here. Enjoy this Winterfest, and remember, snow always lands on the ground.
You have a remarkable across the entire crowd. Huh? But then they get back to their merriment and drinking and whatnot. And Jarl is very much staring at you with the look of the guy from Billy Madison. At no point did anything you say even remotely come close to an answer. And may God have mercy on your soul. Like he's just like, I don't know what just happened.
And I hand him the coin to kind of
Yep.
appease his curiosity.
Sure. His curiosity isn't appeased, but he's definitely going to keep his mouth shut for the time being.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Fortuna Zephyrian, what do you do?
Well, every once in a while, every time she goes to poke something and it looks like something might happen downstairs, there's just a real quick like, and then, oh, never mind. Sorry, it's fine. It's fine. Nothing happened. But does he have any like letters on him or anything that like says he was
see
sent by someone?
Series of glyphs that have been burned into his flesh. You see several maps that are rolled up into his scroll bag. And you find as well, you see several what appear to be poems, perhaps? Words, limerick, written in a language you cannot read.
Do I have comprehend languages? I don't think I took it today. Oh man. Shoot. Okay. I would like to take all of those things
All
and
right.
put them in my bag.
Can I look at that map real quick?
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna look at the map. Is it recent,
No.
or is this like borders and lands from long past? Or
When you look at it, you realize the map is of Blackmore, though it looks as though the map is very dated. It very much shows what Blackmore once was, and there are towns and villages that are marked on here that you are well aware no longer exist. They have been conquered, destroyed, or have had their names changed. Just from your travels through Blackmore, you notice that many of the previous areas or whatnot of interest, they seem to not quite make sense. Why would cities of ruins be of interest to a current and conquering person? Why would this messenger need them?
are there any lines on it indicating like where they came from or anything?
Mm-mm.
So I'll tell this to Fortuna. Like this map is from long past. These towns are destroyed and renamed, and it doesn't. Why would a current conqueror want like have a map like this if they weren't monitoring or looking at current places?
I'm not entirely sure why they'd be carrying that on them if they're so old.
It might be all that they had. Wherever this this person or creature came from, it's from ancient ruins or a place out of the shadows of history.
Well, I have an idea that I don't like that I have, but I have it. So I'd rather tell you that I have this idea because she holds up his limp arm with the glyphs on it. Um, do you think that maybe we should um take this?
Take the arm.
That or the glyphs that are burned into the skin. We don't have to take the whole arm
It's a good
per
idea, but we can't
se.
tell the others. They won't like that.
Does your servant have a degree of intelligence?
As much as a familiar would.
Okay.
He's literally a familiar, just he's a
Mm-hmm.
skelly boy.
Mm-hmm.
Skelly servant.
um uh do we need the skin though? We could just write it down, right? We could just copy it.
Oh, oh,
That
okay.
might be
I have an
easier.
idea. Yeah. I'll take out like a notebook and I'll rip a page out and um, is there like a piece of charcoal or something somewhere, maybe downstairs? We can put it on his arm and do
I hand
that
you
like rubbing thing.
like like a piece of chalk, or not chalk, but charcoal.
Yeah, that's perfect. Because then I does it work if I put it over his arm and I press hard enough? Can I get the?
No, no, there's no. It'd have to be unless the glyphs are raised on the skin or something. But I would just copy this, like write it, like copy the.
She's all trying to make.
I
She's trying to make
overcomplicated
a.
this.
She's trying to make a chalk marking or whatnot, a chalk
Right.
impression, and like it's just not quite working. I don't get it.
Wait. Here. I'll show you. This is how
I
drawing
swear
works.
my intelligence is really high.
She's, as we find out, Fortuna is actually very well into her cups for the evening.
Yeah.
Her
That's not
tea
helping.
is spiked.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll copy the glyphs.
Okay.
Is there anything else? Oh, you said that there were trinkets.
Mm-hmm.
There were trinkets on it. Have we looked at those, or were those a part of the gears, or were those separate?
He has little trinkets. They all seem to be almost like toys. Some of them, mementos.
Like a little spindle, or like a little.
It's got like a little crank on it.
A little crank. A little crank. I'll do it.
It plays music.
Oh, it's like a little tiny, like a little music box.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put that in my pocket. Interesting. So this person had a history, right? These are like very personal effects. These are not the things that I would normally associate with a construct, like a mindless, creature by any means. So something to think about. Can we hear the music downstairs?
Oh, yeah, you hear them going. You do. You hear them going.
Anything else you want to look at? I kind of want to get downstairs.
Yeah, I feel like we should probably get back, or they're probably gonna be confused about what we're doing up here, and I don't entirely blame them.
Yeah, I guess we'll figure out how to bury him tomorrow.
Well, I'd say burn it, but we already learned that.
It's made of
Oh.
metal.
Well, actually, no, because Kalita tried to heal him and it was burning him. So maybe if we burn him, it'll be helpful tomorrow? Now? Out back?
Sounds like a problem for tomorrow.
Okay.
And Zephyrian's gonna turn towards Johann and snap his fingers, and a hole's gonna open in the floor, and he just plummets, and then the hole closes up.
When he does,
Bye,
the
Johann.
chest device hits the ground.
Oh, oop! And I'll wrap it in the cloth and put it in my backpack.
As you go to pick it up, you feel it thumb over what appears to be a similar wind that you saw in the toy. A similar turn crank.
I'm
Only
gonna
this
clap my
looks-
hands again. The portal opens.
Only this...
Johann's gonna slam into the ceiling. Wait for him to form, and then I'll
Johann
hand
has one line.
it to
You rang.
him. Right? Turn the crank, please. Back up.
He turns it and turns it until you hear a click, and then it sucks in for a moment and latches shut, and he holds it up like this, and you see this forked key looking mechanism, right, that was jutting up out of it, right, begin to turn and begin to spin.
So that's its heart. I guess ours squeeze and pump, and I get this one turns. Isn't life incredible?
Yeah, what? Who makes this?
We'll find out. Zarak.
All I know is if someone is capable of making this, I can't imagine what kind of armies they have.
I'm afraid of that too. And what destroyed them? That they're not around anymore. Or if they are, they've been hidden this whole time.
I guess it's a tomorrow problem, right?
Sounds good to me. And I'll dispel Johann again. Let's go to the party.
Do you take the apparatus?
Yes. Yeah, I'll wrap it in a piece of his cloak and put it in my bag.
It does not stop moving.
Well, that's annoying. It's gonna get all twisted up in my stuff. Well, is there any? Well, crap.
Make an investigation check.
Okay. 15.
You see a small release that looks like it releases the wind-up mechanism. And as you thumb it real quickly, the turning stops and the wind pops out.
I'm gonna put it back in the guy's chest. This could be a very bad idea. And I'm gonna wind it.
You wind it again. Click.
Like, only like, I don't know if I need to wind it first and then put it in, or put it in and then wind it, but I'm gonna try to get it back in his chest hole wound.
So do you wind it first and then stick it in, or do you? What do you do?
I have to put it in first because then I'd have to time it right to like where it's. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll try to slide it in, and then
As you slide it in, you hear sounds of metal and brass clanging against one another, as well as the wet sounds of muscle and bone as it clicks into place with an almost eerie suction sound and a click as if gears lock into place.
Zephyrian's gonna close his eyes and be like, I have to try, and he's gonna turn the crank.
You turn the crank. Click, click,
Yeah.
click, click, click. Click, 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 click. And you hear a series of pop, ping, as it sucks back in and the slot covers. And you can hear pop, 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 click, 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 clink, chink, clink. And he just goes,
Hello.
why
Fortuna,
am I
this didn't just-
undressed?
This just worked. It worked. And it worked!
Eureka!
I'm amazing!
I
I'm really-
This is not natural.
I don't know what to say.
Like,
I didn't think that was going to work.
He slings his legs over, and like at this point now, he like when he stands up, right? The pistons in his knees like extend to their full height, giving him an increased height over you. And for the first time you see him like standing, it's almost as if like you've essentially reignited his power plant with a fresh battery. And he stands up and he looks and he goes, "Who are you?"
I am Zephyrian, the Wanderer.
He like leans down, down over you.
Oh God, I didn't think that was going to work. I didn't. I mean, I'm glad it did.
Another of the enhanced. Who is your lord? As he looks to Fortuna.
Why do you ask?
All have been summoned. Lord Zaxxas awakens the army.
Lord Zaxxas.
Zaxxas. It's that I got it wrong. It's Zaxxas, not Zarak.
I don't know. I don't think I know who that is.
Why are you dressed oddly?
Oh no.
That's quite a rude question to ask a lady. I don't really know how to dress myself very well. I'm kind of new to this whole being out thing, so I
All
don't know. This is
enhanced
just-
must stand ready.
Oh
The
no.
invasion of the North is at hand.
I'm
General
I'll-
Zarek is on his way.
I don't
Lord
know-
Zaxxas will follow.
Oh,
Flesh will be made steel. as is the custom of the old dwarven way.
Zephyrian's gonna slowly back towards the door.
His
While he's
head immediately juts over to your movement.
Oh. Mm.
So like if let's just talk about this, right? Because like there's you seem obviously upset, and how can we help you not be upset about this?
And at that moment, you hear a thud as he takes a step forward, and the candle blows out in the room, and that empty orbital socket begins to give off a purple glow.
I'm so glad we left the two squishy wizards by
Oh,
themselves.
And off in the distance, north, so far north, into an unknown mountain, a mountain whose name has been forgotten. Mechanical hands move and assemble another heart apparatus. And unknown dwarves toil at forging gears, and more mechanical hands forge more hearts. As it pans and frozen bodies are seen, and hearts injected. That's where we'll wrap up for tonight because we're short one.
Spaghetti.
But we have stuff to give away, friends.
I did not think that was gonna work. I thought that was oh no.
We have
He
stuff.
said, "I'm gonna try to bring this dead body back." Oh no, it worked.
No, it worked.
All right, friends. Yes, I know it is. It's not even 7:30 yet. I recognize that, but we don't want to get too much farther without our resident bookworm, so to speak, who may have more answers than she realizes. But that being said, friends, so one of the interesting things that is a Kurt change, right? Stream MVP. We are going to have Stream MVP, however, it's going to be done a little bit differently, friends. Stream MVP is going to be dictated by the table. So how that works, how it's going to work for this, right, is we are going to have what are called stars and wishes. Now, wishes are generally things that we wish to see in the future that the table wishes to see happen, right? In the first few episodes, that may not necessarily be the case. However, stars are awarded by the table to other players. If someone had a particularly good role-playing moment, or if someone had a particularly interesting interaction that everybody at the table thought was very very story-driven, very plot-changing, made everybody go, kind of situation, right? And so we go around and we ask if anybody has any stars or wishes. The person who receives the most stars, for lack of a better term, in the next session will start the game with inspiration, which allows them to do whatever they wish with inspiration. Inspiration has its own set of rules that it will follow, but as we're going around the table, where's the table? Well, the table is this virtual
table
thing that we're sitting around right now. Actually, to be perfectly honest, I flew them all out here. Taylor's in my living Taylor.
There is no table.
Yeah, there is no spoon. Taylor's in my living room. Rory's in my basement that I don't actually have. Ashlyn's taken over my kids' room, and we put John in the garage. But
Just remember that creepy crawl space under your house.
yeah, I got one of those. I do.
That's where you just said I'm at.
Yeah, I know.
But what I would like to do one day is actually get all of us at a table because
Oh,
that'd
that'll
be
happen.
so fun.
That'll happen.
Blue Box Con 2024.
So going around the table, starting with Rory. This is your chance, folks. Enter hashtag BlueBoxRPG to be entered in the drawing for the Treasures of Greyhawk giveaway. Rory, do you have any stars that you wish to give out this evening?
And stars again are like
Something
saying
you
what
thought
someone else did
yeah,
that was
something
good.
that you thought was really dope that somebody else had done at the table.
Not used to this. So a star that I would want to give.
Mm-hmm. You get to give 2 stars if you so choose.
Two stars. 2 stars. So 1 star would be to like the investigation of the construct. So like is it Zephyrian?
Zephyrian?
Yes. So Zephyrian, see your name isn't close to another word, so it's not so hard. So Zephyrian, just his investigation of it, because they were about to leave and he's like, no, actually let me look a little bit deeper, and he pulled off all the stuff and he actually investigated the body, and then furthermore the heart. So I'd give 1 star for that. And let's see. The other star, man, you guys think this is easy.
TikTok.
Talk. That's what the heart did. Tick tock, tick tock. That's it. For now.
Okay, you've got 1 star for Zephyrian. All right, Taylor.
I would like to give 1 star to Zephyrian for being super innovative with how he brought this thing back to life and got it talking to us, because that's going to get the whole story started, I'm sure. And I would have never thought to put all that stuff back together like that. I would have just left the body dead. And I also want to give a star to Oriel for just being a sweet little chaos goblin who I love with that wild ass personality over there. I'm here for it.
Outstanding. Outstanding. John, stars and wishes, sir.
What am I gonna do? I'm gonna do a star for detect thoughts. That was super creative. And then I think a star for Kalita with the playing the instrument, like doing performance as a part of like keeping the group's the tavern spirits up.
Outstanding. All right.
And then I have a wish.
You have a wish. Wish you don't have to necessarily use right now, since this is the very first time we're all playing together. Normally, wishes are yours for things along the lines of, hey, it's been a little while since we got into a fight. It'd be great if we got into some combat next round. Or if, there was some particular aspect that is a side quest or something along those lines that you'd really like to explore or dig into, right? Then that is one way to go about it.
Yeah, we've got a lot going on. So
for
I
sure.
agree. Yeah, I don't need it.
And last but not least, Ashlyn, who would you like to give stars to?
The first star is also going to Fortuna for that detect thoughts. It was just right out of the bat, like, I'm a divination wizard. We're gonna divine some stuff. And then again, star for Zephyrian with you're gonna be the nerd who's gonna figure out how something's gonna work.
Okay.
And being willing to actually touch the thing, because Kalita wasn't getting anywhere near that.
I mean, that's fair. So it seems to me that Zephyrian this go round is taking the stream MVP for his I'm gonna put my nose in things and look at things. And it appears as though Lupus 007 has won the giveaways. You have won the Greyhawk Treasures of Greyhawk. Congrats to you. Please do me a favor and shoot a DM to Mystical Unicorn with your name and address, and we will get that out to you as soon as we can. Let's see. Who are we going to raid into, friends? Who are we raiding into?
Is Dave up right now?
I don't know. Wait a minute. Holy crap. What's this going on?
She's doing the
we have
version
to
where we
roll.
each roll for.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we have 007. We have let's see. You're
Midsummer
rolling
Waters.
Midsummer
Bone
Waters
Splitter.
is who
I
you're
have
rolling for.
007.
Bone Splitter.
Oh,
I'm rolling for
Ashlyn, you
myself.
won.
Ashlyn, you
You're
can't
rolling
roll
for
for
yourself?
yourself. You can't roll
I'm
for
rolling
yourself.
for Amanda.
Nope, you can't
What
roll.
are the odds of that?
Nope, you can't roll. Can't roll for yourself. Let's see. Okay, so hang on. Okay, so Ashlyn, you'll roll for Midsummer, and
Cool.
then
Got you,
John, you'll roll for Ashlyn, and then we have Roy rolling for
Lupus.
and Taylor is rolling for
Bow Splitter.
Bone Splitter.
Bone Splitter, which color do you want me to roll with? I have 2 different dice for Fortuna.
I didn't bring up my Kalita dice. I still have my Nida dice up here.
I mean, that's what happens.
And raiding into J.
We are raiding
I-
into J after this.
So I'm rolling for.
Can I use my portent dice on someone else's roll for this?
I don't know, but starting with Rory, give it a roll.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Okay.
15.
15. All right. Taylor, what do you got?
A 4.
A 4. Womp womp. John, what do you got?
12.
12.
I tried. I got 12 and a 1.
Ooh. Ashlyn.
19.
Oh,
19.
come on.
Ashlyn always rolls so well.
Wow.
Taylor has to deal with me as a DM.
All right.
It is.
It's not fun for her.
My lord.
Okay.
I
Ashlyn.
rolled a 15 and a 19.
What? All right, Ashlyn. You have
Midsummer Waters.
Midsummer Waters. So Midsummer Waters. Message. Be sure and message Amanda, Mystical Unicorn, with your name and address so we can get this out to you as soon as possible. Now, keep in mind, it's the holiday. Shipping might be a little delayed, just as an
Awful.
FYI, right? So just keep that much in
mhm.
mind. Stick around, friends. Get ready for the raid and whatnot. Join us in raiding over to Jay, Lord Gazumba. Get all of your stuff together and be ready. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Tune in next week for the next part of this particular story. Amanda will be joining us, and it will be great, and it will be wonderful, and it's going to be awesome. This was so fun. Thank you all for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you all next week. Wow, this is really long timer.
I think you can raid early. I don't know if there's
It's
a raid now
still
button. But...
going.
Thanks, everybody. This party is going to be goofy.
This is gonna
It's
be
gonna
so
be-
fun.
I love it.
But it's going to be great. Wait, where'd the raid go? Where'd it
They're
go?
gone.
I think
It
I
did
think we
it.
did
It
it.
did the
Okay.
raid.
Somebody push the button.
Okay, thank you. Whew, buddy. All right, then. Outstanding. And you go here, and you go